Rory McIlroy's PGA
And now
Tour.
over to the 5th.
We bring you now live
Early in the round, and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
And actually a good
Daniel
position
Schwartz,
to really springboard the round from here.
Newcomer to the game is about to drive the ball. He shoots first. Let us go down to the tee. Schwartz considering very carefully, looking at the height and length of the shot, trying to determine exactly where he wants his ball to go. Using some sort of force, he looks.
Frank, for our viewers just tuning in, remind them what is at stake here in this Web.com Tour Championship final.
50 players will actually go forward in 2015, have their PGA Tour card, and the way it's divvied up is you take the top 25 on the money list from the regular Web.com season, and then added to that, the remaining 25 cards will come from this Web.com Finals series. That's the 50 guys, and they'll all be ranked in position of where they finish.
About how far to go. Schwartz really considering his options. Swinging.
Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
It's on the green.
This is going,
but it's now
gone.
in the rough.
Frank, it hit the green, but
Schwartz
just didn't have enough
really
backspin.
wishing he had an.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Last one. Oh, and
He's made the green.
Almost in.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
And he's an in par.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Hole number 6, 393 yard, par 4. What's in store for us here, Frank?
Another one really where you're just trying to poke it down there. When you stand on that back tee, there's an overhanging limb that you just get an eye of. So if you try and hit that ball a little too low, that's going to encourage a miss hit.
Liking what he sees now.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, it's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
A nice shot at 273 total yards.
Frank, how do you size up the approach shot now at the 6th?
Ideally, you'd want to have a good yardage in here. Something where you can hit a nice, high, lofted short iron to make sure that you don't mess with those palm trees. Should be safely on deck.
And it's on the green.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now,
For
good look at
birdie.
birdie.
Even par, currently.
Oh, no.
Good
He's
try.
missed
Just
again.
didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a
Maybe
problem,
even.
you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Oh,
Frank, you hate to miss it from
no.
that distance.
More than a setback there.
Nudge this one
Nothing
home,
down
finish it
now.
up.
And he is the plus guy.
So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament.
Not very good.
7th hole here at Sawgrass, Frank, a bit
This
uncomfortable off
episode
the
of
tee.
Let's Suck
It is. It
Video
reminds me a
Games
little bit of the
is
opening
brought
hole,
to
much
you
longer
by
version where
the
when you
state of
stand on the tee and
California
look at
and
the
the
green,
state
it's a
of
straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the
Thanks,
left and
guys.
it comes back to the right. But they're all optical
A
illusions.
nice shot. Schwartz has no problem getting on to the fairway in one. So I hope he has a chance of getting it onto the green in two.
Strategically, Frank, how do you like to play this hole?
You've got to be aware of where you don't want to go. That front right bunker is probably the easiest bunker shot on this hole, but there's a little pop bunker on the left. That one there, always difficult to get it up and down.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it, send it. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
And he's made it onto the green now.
Too much power. Oh, no.
Good effort, just didn't drop.
It seems
And getting ready for the putt.
anxiety is getting the best of the
So,
newcomer.
2 over par
from
for the
New York.
round.
You see the leaderboard
Frank, this
with
is a hole that I
Schwartz
really
in
like. The 8th, 237-yard par 3, just a necklace of bunkers surrounding the green. What's the best approach?
You come out through that chute or that hallway of trees there, and this being the longest of the 4 par 3s of TPC
And he's
Sawgrass.
in the rough.
The green actually plays
Not
much smaller than what it looks
good.
because of that narrow entry.
I'm taking over from Nigel Casserly. My name is Brian Wilmore. I will
Second
be
shot from the
here
rough. It's
commentating
on the way.
on this, what seems to be an almost complete massacre of the noble and ancient game of golf. All right, Schwartz rearing back, giving it a tap. Oh, goodness, no. And it rolls. And rolls.
Well, the stats say that is a
Almost
green
to a
hit
stop.
in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card.
32 feet,
Very tough putt coming
32
up.
feet from the pin. No good.
Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a
I
formality
wonder
either.
what's going through his mind. I can only imagine at this point I
I
would
don't think a
be
tourniquet
thinking,
is going to work
well,
after
why
that
did
one.
I pick up
to
golf?
watch.
I should have stuck to skiing. 75th place.
Frank, now at the
Not
9th,
good,
this really
not
is one of
good,
my
not good.
favorite par 5s in the
Send
entire
it back
sport.
up to the booth.
And I
All right,
certainly enjoy
Schwartz
watching
is
people play it today,
now
Rich. It used to
at
be
the
unreachable,
ninth
but the
hole.
longer hitters now,
600 yards to the
we're
pin.
starting to see them go for this par
He's
5
gonna give it a
regularly in
whack.
2.
Let's
And
see
the
what
reason why
happens.
they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People
A
used to try
nice
and go down the left
drive.
side. The right side, it
Deep
hugs the water,
onto
but you
the
get a better
fairway.
view of the second shot.
170 yards, give or take.
And he
Not
steps
bad.
up to take
Not
this
bad
shot
at all.
from the fairway.
Rich, this is the player that I'm really curious to see how they do long term. Tons of power. There's
right.
talent. You can see that
Schwartz
anybody
sizing
can
it
pick
up.
that up. In the touch, too, and the skill required. It's not just about long hitting. This player seems to have
And a nice
all the
whack.
goods. And I know we talk about it on a regular basis, but I think this particular
35
talent
yards.
is special.
Has a great resume, too. We've
Guess
known
one
about
way or
this
the
player since they were in the junior ranks. Number 1 ranked junior player in the world. Went on to have a phenomenal collegiate career. Played well on the amateur level. So at every step, Frank has been successful. Has been a winner.
He has the potential to do something here.
Good looking shot right here.
Ooh. All right.
No doubt they'll be happy with that
Thank
shot. Well
goodness.
played.
He
Been
might
pretty
be
good all
back
day
in it
from
with
this
this.
distance.
It's
Just trying to take
requiring
care
a
of business.
Quick little tap.
Frank, there's an old basketball announcer who used to say when a
What a
ball went
loser.
in and out of the
He
cylinder,
sucks at
just the
video
way
games.
that one did, he would say, ringtail howitzer. And that one
And
just
he gets
didn't
it
go
in
in.
5.
Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over
Still
for the
not
day.
doing particularly
Second
well.
round coverage coming your way tomorrow for our entire crew.
76th place at
I'm Rich
plus
Lerner
3.
alongside Frank Nobilo. So
Oh,
long for
boy.
now.
Well, he makes the level 3. That's nice. '83rd place. Well, freaking done. Yeah, okay, mowing the grass. That's what I say to that. I wonder how the food is at these places. Can only imagine, like, it's really kind of hoity-toity finger food, like tiny little sliders with brioche buns. You know what I say about that? I think it sucks. Alright, let's continue.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Moving into the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. And Frank, you can feel the pressure building.
You certainly can, Rich, and I expect that we're going to see more of what we saw yesterday, which is some fearless golf. And these guys are playing for a PGA Tour card, and they're not backing down.
Let's bang this ball.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Come on.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th.
Excellent. Oh, look at that
Second shot
drummer.
now at the 10th, and again, Frank, accuracy is at a premium.
Yeah, gone are the days to sort of thrash it out of the trees like Phil Mickelson. Ideally, coming out of that fairway, you're heading to a green that moves to the right. So that makes it a little bit more difficult than what the mind's eye first sees.
Early part of this second iron, good approach shot. And now, pretty good chance for birdie. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
That's how you maintain momentum.
Yeah.
Make those putts for par.
Really? Well done. Guess I gotta work on this, huh?
Now to the 11th, par 5.
Good tee shot, and then you certainly think about hitting a hybrid or a lofted fairway wood into this green that's really narrow, one of the narrowest on the golf course. There's a little pot bunker left of this green when you go for two that often swallows up that second shot if it's a little bit too conservative. But there's a lake there. Seen more than one ball splash in the pond over the years.
All right, let's go with the driver. Yeah. Yeah. Over the trees, onto the second fairway. This man seems to be in good shape.
Frank, this is a position where a player is
I know why I'm
absolutely
not
licking his
doing
chops
well.
here. Good chance to make a
Clear
birdie.
to me.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Leaves that one about 20 feet out from the cup. Nicely played shot. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. What a putt. Just missed, Frank. That's cruel. And he's putting for par now. Has it.
63rd place.
Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shot you'd get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick, and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. How'd you like that strike?
I don't think you could ask
it
for
was top of the
any
tree.
better of a setup than that.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So they'll tap in.
A heartbreak.
Did the job right there.
62nd place. He was moving up.
And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds, and you can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with a bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
It doesn't matter who you are. That's not going to be fun. Oh.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid.
You gotta be
excellent approach
kidding
shot.
me.
Settles in over the putt.
That is the biggest load of horse shit I have ever seen. Game, what are you doing?
Always take that. Good par putt right there. So that is the end of the second round. I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow, Frank.
We got a great
60th
leaderboard
place.
right now, Rich. So many players in contention. Golf course, there's enough blend of good and hard holes. Really, it's up for grabs.
53rd place at the end of the day. Really? Web.com, you say? Well, shit. I made it to the third round. TPC Sawgrass, here we are. Time for another day of golf.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour
golf,
Championship.
This game is a game of precision and skill, and I'm really enjoying it.
This is the third round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. So we're into the weekend, Frank, and just remind people what's at stake here.
Top 50 players are going to go forward and play the big tour, the PGA Tour, the chance to play in major championships, the chance to become a star of the future. And right now, Rich, there's just 36 holes separating them between now and their dream.
4 plus 3, man, we really need to have a good
Frank,
day
there's
today.
a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
There we go. What a swing.
This is a good-looking shot.
And just nice.
Midway through this back nine,
I hope I have a good
this birdie
slope.
here at the 14th.
I would very
They
much
par
like
yesterday.
to.
This one for birdie.
Yes. Go. Go.
That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Oh,
for such a
just
strong
eat
man.
dick, gravity.
Weak putt.
Physics.
Now I'll have to make
You're
this
an
just to avoid
asshole.
making Michael Bublé. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Frank, the 15th hole certainly has the respect of the professionals.
But you're right. This is a positional hole where just keep the ball down the left center. You can't go too far, though, because you'll get blocked out or you'll run out of fairway.
Up,
from there,
over.
it's really about knowing where the flag is, what position on this green, because
Not a
this is
bad
another green
roll.
that's not flat. If the
Schmackaroo.
second shot lands on the wrong portion of the green, it'll finish well away from the hole.
Here we go. Ooh, 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 get in there.
Our computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Well, not in contention, but in for par.
What am I doing?
Frank, fans watching, they love excitement in the game. 16's an exciting hole, isn't it?
Well, that's where you get
Okay.
it, because you hear the roars. You start to see the big crowds that go all the way around 16, 17, and 18T. You feel where you are in the tournament, too. A movement that starts at 16 can be carried all the way to the clubhouse. Oh, that's off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Not looking good, Frank. So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Has to regroup, playing his 5th shot after hitting it in the water.
Yeah, it's not all lost. Once again, check the yardage, check the wind, start again. Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the
Putting
rough.
this
Setting up for an approach shot here.
Ah,
Solid play, heart of the green.
oh, it's like getting shot in the gut.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Get the-
Wow, I didn't expect that. This one was just a nightmare from the start, and now he has this for triple bogey. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. Frank, a couple different ways to watch golf as a fan. You could follow your favorite player for a number of holes, or you can park yourself in one spot. I think one of the better ones is the hill behind the 17th at TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, and that's why the reaction of the fans is so different. If you followed that player the whole way around, you lived and died on every shot he's hit. Meanwhile, if you stuck at a hole, you want to see some tragedy, you want to see some great shots, and consequently you get that divergence of different type of fan. Had every chance of going in.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So just a formality here.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off...
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
3rd shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty
I
shot.
guess that's what
The
I
hole's
get
not over
for
yet.
He'll need to be strong with this.
just blindly.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green.
So I guess
At least
this
he's back in
might
play.
actually
Played
be
the
the
smart
first
shot right there.
episode in which
So, Frank, with this approach shot,
I
you
live
need
up
to put
to
it
the
in there
name
reasonably
of the
close
series,
and
Let's
hope
Suck
for a
at
bogey.
Video Games.
Yeah, and that actually wouldn't be so bad.
Jesus.
A string of mistakes and just to minimize the damage to just one drop shot, you nearly give yourself a pat on the back. He needs a sort of miracle putt.
Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet.
Yeah, this is shameful.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Frank, can we say it? That was weak.
You just did. Really. This is an awkward length.
Hate to say it, but that is a quadruple bogey, double the par, and time to pick up and move on. That concludes round 3 here. Not a very good one, Frank.
Yeah, really a poor performance is the only way to
place.
put it. Rich, missing putts throughout the round really kept them back from putting anything of consequence together.
That's bad. So I guess I need to work on my putting. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board on this one, guys. I will see you next time.